I can't even say that I'm surprised by this, but it is hilarious to see it in print. Marxist group disbands because members were too rich and white. A Marxist group at Swarthmore College disbanded itself earlier this year after realising that its members were too rich and too white to be real commies. You bourgeois cunts. You do not represent workers. My God, I swear to God, I have actually seen them literally refer to themselves as the working class, and it's just like, fucking hell, you are such larpers. None of you are working class. Absolutely none. I have yet to meet a communist that's actually working class. A farewell letter from a former member complains that the group's founders were entirely white with the exception of one person of colour. That's important. None of them came from low-income and or working class backgrounds. Imagine my shock. According to screenshots confidentially provided to Campus Reform by an individual with access to the group's private Facebook page, the demise of Swarthmore Anti-Capitalist Collective God, idiots, came in the wake of a farewell letter from a member who decided the group could never be an effective proponent of unproblematized anti-capitalist politics due to its history of abuse, racism, and even classism. From my understanding, the SACC disbanded because they realised the makeup of and the tactics of their group were at odds with their espoused principles. Can't give up daddy's money. Their main support base was an upper middle class white kids who enjoyed jogging. God, that's so fucking bourgeois. It makes me cringe. A farewell letter corroborates Guerra's understanding, asserting that the SACC's fundamental failure was at its formation, which was made up entirely white, with the exception of one person of colour students. To make matters worse, not one of the founding members from low-income... Yeah, okay. Arguing that low-income people of colour should never be an afterthought in the group whose politics supposedly focus on their liberation. The author then went on to accuse SACC of having a history of abuse, racism, and even classism. No one's fucking pure enough. All your group's about is fighting these things, and you're nowhere near pure enough to do it, apparently. So now you can't do anything. Look how crippling social justice actually is. That was never adequately addressed or recognised, despite constantly being brought up as an issue. I just can't get over how great this is. Honestly, if this turns out to not be true, then consider my bias is confirmed, but holy shit, I knew this was going to happen. So this took place in March or April. Guerra, I don't fucking know how to pronounce these words. Agreed strongly that the letterized assessment the SACC was ineffective, telling Campus Reform it didn't do anything noteworthy during their existence. What a surprise. If anything, I think the legacy of that particular group will turn out to be motivating some apathetic students to become involved in the conservative society. Well, that's an opinion. But this has just been amazing and hilarious, and I literally don't have anything further to say about it. These people are just bourgeois twats who are looking for a cause. These people, they've got like energy, they want to do things, but they don't know what to do. And they're like, well, we should help poor people. Yeah, what should we do? We should single out the poor black people. That's what they want. To be uniquely singled out. Yeah, thanks a lot. No, I'm just getting on with my life. Leave me alone. But no, these racialized do-gooders can't not do something. And the thing is, right, they sit there and they talk about like creating dialogues and all that. But you know what would actually be more helpful is if you went personally and did something. Like you actually went off your campus, got off the internet, got off your campus, and actually went to these communities and spoke to these people and asked individuals what they need to improve their lives. And they will not just say, well, just give me some, well, maybe, okay, yeah, they will just give me some money. But there will be ones among them who say, okay, well, I need a job, or I need an opportunity, I need this, I need that, I need the other. I need something you could actually help me with, rather than just... I mean, going for... Well, all I'm saying is, if you're actually trying to alleviate the amount of poverty and suffering in the world, then attempting a system-wide change is the most difficult, lengthiest, and least likely to succeed method, is all I'm saying. If you want to effect some positive change in the world around you, you can reduce the overall amount of poverty and suffering by personally going out into your communities or into someone else's communities and actually doing some good, you know, helping them with something that they want. Consider it some sort of personal charity of yours. But that will actually reduce the overall amount of poverty and suffering in these communities, and just in the world. And you will have done some good, and you can sleep well that night. You know, your conscience won't haunt you